interrupt you?
No, don't interrupt. Oh, we'll do it at the end. So, we are recording now. I'm going to give you this. So you know, no, sorry. It's just a J. So then you'll just hit start, maybe in about 3 minutes. And then,
I think it's a bit boring if I just have it steady. What about sitting down and doing?
Yeah, you can do that too. Whatever you want. Maybe I should go ahead and give this to you. This way you can, if need be, you can plug into that. That way if the battery starts going low, that way it's always charged. But it should be pretty good for a while. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, man.
No problem. You're welcome.
Osmond.
thought white 17
This is all for live streaming. So you can plug yourself there until we start, maybe.
Yeah, okay, great. Do you know when this will happen? When the talk will start?
Any minute, I guess.
Okay, so you just unplug it if you want, whatever.
I don't mind. It's just if Kenneth, the host of the stream,
If you need
needs
live
that,
streaming.
he will possibly plug it out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. It was free and it was not used. So I said, I live here, I'll just say you need this. Really okay.
Oh, Wes, did I get it alcohol free?
Yeah, you want a beer? Alcohol
Quick hello to all of our online viewers. We will be going live here shortly, so just give me a couple minutes.
Hello guys! How you guys doing? So, if I get you guys all to come forward, grab some seats. We're going to start.
Filming.
All right, so it looks like everybody's situated. Let me move out from the screen. So I just want to welcome you guys all to the first ever Portfolios and Pints event here at Wacom. So a big round of applause for everybody here. Awesome. So with that being said, I want to say hello to Jens Kellerman from Wacom and hand the mic over to him, because I think it's really great that they invited us to be here in the space tonight and, you know, constantly sharing creativity and inspiring people. So here's Jens.
Thanks, Ken. What's your English?
English. All right.
So it shouldn't be a problem because that's our normal everyday language here. Don't know if some of you might have been in our opening events a year ago. No? Well, at that time we promised that we would do that more often. We did. So it's like a fresh start and do it again. And next time I try to be a bit more consistent. A couple of things, I don't want to have a long speech, but a couple of things that makes life a lot easier. Yes, there is a toilet over there. Please don't, because you're not getting it back in. So please use that over there. Okay? Other thing that I have to say is, unfortunately, we all non-smokers. Yes, I know you are part of it, but if you need to smoke, sorry, I have to say it. No, that was just enough, I guess. The nice thing that I can mention, we have, do you see the archive outside? We used it a couple of weeks back. I really enjoyed it a lot, although it was really cold outside. But there is a computer on it, more or less. If you want to leave us a doodle, a grid, whatever, please feel free to use it. I'm looking forward to see whatever you leave us. And then, last but not least, yes, I do marketing a little bit, although my job basically is PR social media. That said, if you do some pictures, if you post from the event tonight, don't forget the hashtags, because we will look Monday for the most shares. And the most shares will have a little present from Wacom, and you actually have a choice between a tablet or one of our building products. And that's basically it. I hope you will enjoy it, have as much fun as possible. And Ken, who's next? Ken is next. Thanks all. Have fun.
Big round of applause for Jens. Actually, you know what? Portfolios and Pints. And I think we should give Renz a big cheers. So let's all say cheers to Jens.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, give me 1 second to. So, as Jens mentioned earlier, we do have a contest going on. So on Twitter, if you take pictures tonight, either during this moment or during like the portfolio review, you can hashtag Portfolios and Pints and Wacom Experience, and you can win either a bamboo folio or an Intuos Pro. How cool is that? Ooh, wait, come on, we're at Wacom. I need to see some more excitement. That's really, really cool. So let's go. Woo! Nice. All right. So, first, let me say, again, cheers. 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 And also, cheers to our live stream viewers, because we are streaming live on Instagram, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube, all at the same time. Everything is going live there from Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube.
So we have the camera facing the stage, and then we have this awesome, nice camera facing you guys. So that's really cool to have a multi-stream going, so that's really nice. Sorry, I don't have a clicker, so I'm going to have to bounce back and forth. And again, another special thanks to Wacom. So again, cheers to Wacom for having us all. Cheers. And I also want to say a special thanks to the Behance NRA community. We started the community in 2013. I think we've now had about like 16, 17 events plus 2 conferences. So it's great that we're connecting creatives here in NRA. And as you guys may or may not know, we do have a Facebook page with 1,400 plus members, which is really awesome. So you guys can go on the Facebook page of the group, and you guys can share your portfolios if you guys are working on new projects, or you're promoting an event that you're at, or if you have a gallery exposition, then go on there and share the link. I don't care, as long as it's art related, anything goes. Also, I want to say special thanks to Adobe Stock, Dribbble, Düsseldorf York City, the City of Düsseldorf, and Redbubble. So, quick question for you guys. Why do you need a portfolio? Don't be shy. Why do you need a portfolio?
To show your work to everyone else.
Okay, all right. Why do you think you need a portfolio?
To show at this event.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, so for me, I believe you never know when or where your talent will be discovered. So to me, it's very important not to sit on your work, but to get it out there for the world to see, and not be afraid to show your work, because you never know who's going to see and go, oh wow, I really like her artwork right there, or his artwork. You know, maybe I should hire them to do something for my company, or maybe I should hire them to build me a website, or do a photo shoot for me, or create something. So to me, it's always important to get your work out there and get it shown to the public. So, rules for sharing portfolios. So to me, it doesn't matter, again, where you show your work, as long as you get it out there, whether it be on Behance or Dribbble, whether you're sharing things on Instagram or DeviantArt or ArtStation. To me, it's really important for you guys just to get your work out there, or even if you're just creating your own portfolio. Whether you're sharing links on Facebook or LinkedIn, there's a lot of places on social media to show your work and get it out there. And now the second rule is realize what works for others may not work for you. So let's say that I see Jan's website or Martin's website, and I see that they're doing really good things, they're really sharing their social media good, so I want to kind of share in their style. Maybe it won't work for me. Now, everybody uses artwork in a different way, so you kind of figure out what works for you, so you have to constantly experiment. The other thing with social media, there's a lot of trends in how to share, and sometimes those trends only last like a week or so, and then they're gone. So it's always good to experiment and just kind of try to find your own way to post and share your on social media. And of course, your portfolio is going to evolve over time. Who has updated or changed their portfolio within the last 6 months? A lot of people. Who expects 6 months from now you're going to change your portfolio again? Exactly. I know my portfolio has evolved a lot since I put it out there. Originally I had it on, I think, a DeviantArt, and then I moved to Behance, I think around 2006 maybe, or so forth. And now I had it on Adobe Pro Site, which went away, and now my portfolio is on Adobe Portfolio. I also have Dribbble, and I also use Instagram too. So your portfolio is going to evolve over time, it's going to change, and you constantly have to rework it, and you're going to constantly have to take some of the old things away and put in some new things and replace. And I know it's really hard to be your own judge and figure out what needs to go away, but your work's going to evolve, and it's going to change over time, and you're going to see that growth. So to me, it's good to change things up a little bit and add new things and kind of erase the old things. So I'm going to show you some portfolios real quick. Let me see if I can just So this is Peter Jaroszewski, and he is based in Warsaw, Poland. He runs the ad agency R-Study. Has anybody ever heard of Peter? Peter is kind of really cool. He actually wanted to be a pro gamer. So he made a big jump, a big transition into to doing advertising. So to me, that's really cool. Now, one thing that you'll notice about Peter's page is he uses and selects like really cool cover images that like bring you in. And that's going to be the first thing when you're sharing a portfolio. I see a lot of people that will brand and put their logo across all their main images. If I'm going through your portfolio, I'm probably not going to click on every one to see what it is. But if you have images that really captivate my attention, then I'm going to jump into those and see how they are. I'm going to scroll down to show you one of Peter's projects that I really love. One second, right here. So who's familiar with Assassin's Creed? Some people don't game, some people, I see some gamers in the audience. So Assassin's Creed, which is made by Ubisoft, which is also doing this as well, they did some marketing for Assassin's Creed. And to me, it was really cool what Peter did and his company. So we first see the main image for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is really, really nice. We see how they've kind of like concepted it out, and they also made it where it could be landscaped as well. A few close-ups. And now when you're showing your work, sometimes it's good to show close-ups of different parts of your work, especially when there's a lot of detail. You see a nasty old pirate right there ready to go for battle. You see smoke. Now check this out. This is what's really cool. Now, we know this was all rendered in 3D, right? So what he did to kind of show the process was he did a split screen. And you see the unrendered part without the color. So this is kind of cool. So if you're like doing like 3D animation, or is there any people doing like photo composites here in the audience? Okay, so if you're doing like a photo composite, you might do a slash through your screen and show like the original and the old, or the original unworked, and then the finished piece. And to me, that kind of shows like the work process. So we see another example of how he did it as well. And now this is what's really cool, is in New York, how the billboards were actually used. So if you're creating artwork that's being used for a campaign and you get the rights to show it, it's kind of cool to show how it was used. And I guess that's probably LA right there. This is Times Square. I mean, how awesome is that to have your artwork in Times Square on billboards? So I'm going to close on Peter's. And we're going to go into Steve Simpson's artwork. Who all knows Steve Simpson? Anybody? No? You know Steve Simpson. Awesome, cool. Steve Simpson is an illustrator based in Dublin. And he's done a lot of really cool work. And one project that I want to show you guys tonight is this right here. So give it a second for it to load up. You might be missing a plugin. But normally if you go to this, if Flash was installed, you'd see like from sketch all the way to finish and so forth. So he has like an animated GIF that kind of plays you through the steps and you see it evolve, which is really cool. Sorry that it's not pulling up, but that's okay. Right there it is. So to me, this is really smart, and this is just another example of how you can show like your project kind of evolving from first sketch to graphic to final thing. And to me, that is really cool, and I think it's great that Steve was able to do this. And then, of course, he shows the complete front label, the back label, And I think it's kind of cool how they used like a Parthenon building. I guess maybe that's also in Dublin. I unfortunately haven't ever been there. And you can see how he kind of branded the barcode, which actually is really cool as well. We see the top label. We see the graphic as a vector. And then we see Steve actually doing a screen print, which is really nice. Some postcards that he made for Jameson's as well. And then he kind of, there was a video, I'm not going to play the video for this one. And then he showed the final bottle, which to me is really brilliant. And then of course you get an end picture of Steve with some of his characters that appeared in the campaign and on the bottle. And of course him signing a finished piece of artwork. So as you can see, there's other ways to share portfolios, and to me that's really, really cool. And now we're going to go to Alexis Markow. Does anybody know Alexis Markow? Anybody here of him? No? Alexis has done a lot for Nike, ESPN, the NBA, a lot of sports things, which is really cool. And the one project that I want to show you guys that he did, because Alexis is very unique. Scroll down to the Snow Queen. So this is one of Alexis's projects entitled the Snow Queen. So we can automatically already see a close-up of her eye, which is a great way to start out. And also we start seeing like the graphic. Now one cool thing that you guys may or may not know about Alexis is he never shows his face. So I've done an interview with Alexis and he never shows his face, you only see his hands. And then you'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird, but alright, you know, maybe he's not comfortable with showing his face, who knows, but you know, we can all respect that. But what's cool is when you see his hands, he actually puts tape on his fingers because he's grinding up graphite and so forth. And had I not seen the pictures of his hands, then I wouldn't know. I mean, who draws a lot? Anybody draw with like pencils and paper and so forth like that? Who's got those little nasty fingerprints all over your paper and so forth? I know I have. I have a lot of fingerprints all over my work. So to me, that's cool. I would never have thought of putting a piece of tape around the tip of my finger when I was creating artwork. So had I not seen Alexis do that, I would not know that's a cool way to create art. So there's a close-up of the large view of the Snow Queen. We see some crystals that he used. So again, he's showing like close-ups of the various pieces of work. And now, one thing you'll notice up in the top right corner, take a look at that, because in a second we're going to see why that's there and why he did a close-up of that. So in a way, he's kind of telling the story of how this project is made step by step. And again, right here, if you notice this little piece right here, it looks like something frozen in ice. I'm just going to scroll quickly through this. So here you can see Alexis's hands. You can kind of start to see like his technique of how he creates artwork and like the type of tools that he uses, which is really great. And it looks like he also uses even like makeup brushes, because like I said, he does grind graphite as well and other pigments. And there we can see that he's painting. So we can see, like, you know, the traditional process, but he took this digital. You'll see this in a minute, and that'll explain why I told you to think about the other in the corner. All right, see this? He actually froze plants in ice and then digitally brought those into the image. Now, had we just seen his image, we wouldn't have known that he took this like extra step and put this extra passion in creating his artwork, but he shared this. So he's sharing his process, and to me that's really cool. And seeing how he's like bringing in another element like photos into the final piece is really interesting, because I mean, I would have never thought that he actually froze flowers or plants to really make the finished concept. And so you can also see that he took pictures of crystals as well, which were implemented into the design. So he's telling a story, and he's showing the process. And again, this is really great. Now maybe this is a little bit too long, I think, with sharing that much detail in a project, but I think, kind of giving the audience an idea or how you're creating something is really important and so forth. So to me, telling the story and conveying your process of how you're creating the artwork is really, really important to do. Okay, I'm going to jump back into this right here. So now I already gave you some examples of portfolios. I also want to show a little bit from Adobe Stock and some examples of online galleries that you can create and show your work. Because who all here is a photographer? A few. Who all here is an illustrator? A few. All right, great. So I'm going to probably pronounce these names wrong. Lasabenka was a former media designer. He now strictly makes his money by sharing his work on Adobe Stock, which is really cool because people are buying his work and using it. Also, we have Jakob Lund, who was a former police officer, and he stopped working for the police and said, hey, I'm making a lot of money by sharing my work through Adobe Stock, and so forth like that. And then we have Andreas Price as well, who's an illustrator. So I want to show you guys their work real quick. This way you guys can be inspired. So here we have Lass's work, which is really cool. So you don't have to think about sharing your portfolio in a traditional sense. There might be other ways to share your portfolio as well. So not necessarily on like Behance or Dribbble, but you can actually share your portfolio and make money off of it as well, which is kind of cool. And let's look at Jakob's. So here we see Jakob. And we see that his photography is more editorial and more commercial, where anybody can download it and use it on their website or for a magazine. So to me, that's also really great. So we see two different kinds of photographers and how they're earning money from their work. And here we see Andreas Price. Amazing illustration. And again, so he chose like some of his illustrations to actually put up on Adobe Stock and sell. So this way he's earning some money. Now granted, you probably don't want to sell all your artwork, you want to keep the rights as well. But if there's some like pieces that you want to create just for fun and put up there, maybe you have a few hours and you go, all right, I'm working on this piece, I'd like to make some money off of it, why not go ahead and try to sell it? So to me, that's also a great idea. And I just want to play a video. Do we have the setup on this right now? Or?
It should work.
Okay.
Maybe you have to push your button down there on it.
Great, so if I leave you, what, an hour?
Let me start it again from the beginning, sorry.
Hey Dan, have you got a sec?
Yep.
Oh, great, because the client's coming here really soon. I've got this amazing ad for the new ginger beer.
Yeah.
Playful, but rough, but also epic, but quite modest at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Great, so if I leave you, what, an hour? Enough time?
Well, it's not finished, but
No, clearly. It needs to be more manly. Give him a beard.
a long beard or
Yeah.
stubbly
Yeah,
beard?
long.
Like dwarf long?
No, not that long.
Okay.
Well, he's Mother Nature. And he's also like Father Nature as well.
Asexual.
Maybe we should have some wolves. No, whoa. No, not a whole pack.
So, do you know what? I was right. We do. We need a whole pack of wolves.
Oh, Kim. What do you think? Check it out.
Wow, really raw. Nice work. Okay, from a strategy perspective though, millennials are 58% more engaged when there's a kitten in the advert, so can we work that in somehow? Oh, by the way, the client is here.
Kids don't work. Alright. What about a baby bear?
Yeah, whatever, thank you.
Just a baby bear there. Baby bear there. Baby bear.
Alright, okay.
Okay, 2 pixels to the left.
Okay.
2 to this bigger, 10% bigger.
Right.
It's not perfect.
Yeah?
Alright. Now, I want to show you one more thing, and maybe you guys have figured out why I'm showing this, but let's see if this plays. Okay, give me 1 second.
He's a creative visionary, the man you can count on for advice, even if you didn't ask for it. Introducing the talking, hovering art director action figure. Stuck? There's no problem he can't solve.
Try some more versions.
Or a designer he can't inspire.
The 90s called, and they want their drop shadows back.
And if you get lost in the details, he'll show you the bigger picture.
Trust me, you'll thank me when we're in camp.
Get a little creative help
Just make it pop.
from Adobe Stock and the talking, hovering art director action figure.
Alright, so to me it's really cool what you can do with Adobe Stock. And the great thing tonight, and why I had you guys put your name on little sheets of paper and put it into the big bucket, is I'm going to be giving 3 50 packs of licenses for Adobe Stock. So 3 people will get 50 images from Adobe Stock that they can use however they want, which is really great. And also, to top that off, later on, I actually have a hovering art director figure. We'll wait before we open it up. We'll wait till the end. This way you guys can see it. But I hope this goes to a cool person. I hope they actually get inspiration from this little guy, and it doesn't make them too upset. So. Jump back into here. So we've seen some amazing things on Behance, and we've also seen some amazing things on Adobe Stock. So one thing I want to let you guys know, if you think about it, when you're promoting yourself, you are your own public relations manager. So what's that mean? Anybody have an idea? You guys realize that you're actually working for yourself? That's kind of hard, right? So that means, to me, you should be promoting your work, your portfolios, 10 to 30 minutes a day. And it could just be a simple post on Twitter, on LinkedIn. You can even go deeper into that. You can write an article about a project on LinkedIn and share that as well. And that will help you get your name out there. So don't be afraid to show your work and really get it out there. And just remember, you are your own PR manager. You are working for your brand. So you need to get people to see it, and that's very, very important as an artist. Because if you're sitting on your hands and you're not showcasing your work, and you're not saying, hey, look at me, then people aren't going to discover you. But one thing I want you guys to be aware of, now they say 48% of millennials will stop following a brand if it's constantly buy, buy, buy. So if you're doing a social media feed, sometimes it's good to like feature another topic or feature a tutorial that you found helpful that somebody else did, and kind of share that as well. Don't always go buy me, but kind of sell ideas or things that you find inspirational and share that on your social media as well. So when you're promoting yourself, don't just promote yourself. Also share other content that shows that you're an expert in what you're doing and that you're also paying attention to trends and other things that are going on. Who all knows this guy? Anybody? Who is that? Andy Warhol. Who said Karl Lagerfeld? Oh my God. He is like Darth Vader looks. Andy's a little more traditional. So, I know people, maybe some of you guys have seen me share this quote before, but don't think about making art. Just get it done. Let everyone else decide whether it's good or bad, if they love it or they hate it, and while they're deciding, make more art. Now, what's this mean for a creative? To me, I think maybe when we're starting out, we might be a little scared to share our work. Who's kind of scared at times to share their work? Kind of nervous about sharing. Don't be scared. It's all right. But you know what's cool is, let's say half of this room doesn't like a project that I share online, but maybe half of this room loves it. And let's say this guy right here goes, man, Ken, I love your artwork so much. I really want to either collaborate with you or I want to buy it. So you know, let's get in contact, let's connect. So to me, you really just need to get out there, put it out there, not be scared, get rid of the fear, get rid of the Angst in German, and just get it out there and have fun. Because, like I said, maybe 3 people don't like it, but you know what? Forget those 3 people. Who needs them? If these other 3 people love it and that one person wants to buy it or wants to do something with it, awesome. Then I'm doing good. So don't be scared. Get your work out there and share it. Whoops. Oh, what did I do?
Okay.
Sorry, I've been using PCs lately, so. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening to me speak for the very beginning. So let's connect. You can connect with me via my Adobe portfolio. You can connect with me on Facebook. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram. So, with that being said, I want to talk to you about our very first speaker of the night. And I met him probably 2014, roughly?
Yeah, about
2014. At an Adobe conference that we hosted in Capitol Theater. And I was really inspired by his work. We got to know each other over the years and started kind of like hanging out every once in a while when we could. Granted, you know, times don't always allow for a schedule to match up. But I really was inspired by what he's doing, and I think it's really awesome. So I want to welcome to the stage Jan Visserman.
I was asked to hold the microphone more like this. So I prefer this way. If it works for you, just let me know. If you can't hear me, I just switched to my presentation, which is here. And then, hello, boys and girls. It's good to see you, and I hope you're all fine. And it's really cool that Ken is organizing this, and I'm really happy to share my work with you and give you some insight into my work and also into marketing. And that being said, I'm working as a commercial retoucher, and that for about, well, I started working in the creative industry about 15 years ago as an art director. I studied graphic design and worked in small agencies in and around Düsseldorf. And I think about 2005, I met my very first mentor, which was a Photoshop professional, Robin Preston. I don't know if anyone maybe rings a bell here. Yes, Jens knows him. And yeah, so he kind of took me under his wings, me asking for it. So I connected to him on an event, and I knew one photographer here in Düsseldorf that I knew him in person, and I asked him if he could give me his phone number, and I just called him, and I was allowed to visit him since we were both living in the same city. Back then I was living in Oberhausen in the Ruhrpott, you know. And all right, so I went there, and from there we worked together for about 2.5 years. And that was very inspiring, and I knew that this is going to be the path that I want to go. But there were a little more steps I had to take. So I was working in many agencies, and from there I moved on to being self-employed in 2009. And so that was the beginning of a long journey, and which led me to be here today. And I refer myself more like a ninja, if you know what I mean, because my job is not to leave any traces while I work as a retoucher. But some of you may think I look like a panda bear, because, you know, those of you with little kids will know. That being said, I just heard that my little son Vincent, who is about 2 years and 8 months now, is watching live, and maybe we can say hi to Vincent. That would be so lovely. It would be so. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Vincent.
Hi, Vincent.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. All right. So, but I'm more interested now in who you are, and I just kind of already asked a few questions. But is everybody of you working in the creative industry, or is there like hands up, everyone, or some? That's cool. And so, are there any retouchers among you? Okay, cool. And so we go a little more in my work now, and I want to give you a brief insight. I always decided that I don't want to specialize in just one field, because I started with video retouching and I started with commercial retouching, but there's so much more, and I was never satisfied with doing just one thing. So I give you an insight about people in portraits. That's what I do the most, collaborating with many photographers advertising agencies, and I had the opportunity to work on some really amazing images and do cover pages of magazines and stuff. So it all started with celebrities, and this is always something that I enjoy because it has to be very natural, and it's about the look that draws the attention of the viewer, and it's not manipulating too much. But there are so many images of celebrities out there, and they have to match all the other images, right? And of course, there's beauty. And so I've been working with many international photographers, and for example, there's the name of that is a Hollywood actress. This one that is a commercial for a makeup campaign, and it's a satire for one of that's been created with a photographer from this and there's also commercial. And so we do lot many things, like composite work, also video work, and most of all, it's like composite work, as you see on the bottom left, or we create campaigns for commercial, for example, or some hair video work. So all different fields. And what I also enjoy very much is editorial work. So I've had the honor to work on images for magazines, for the colors, and that leads to fashion. And with this different story, it's not about the details so much. It's more about coloring, and it's about telling a story with the colors. And that's something that I learned to be a very fascinating field in retouching, because the technical part is one thing. You can like remove pixels, or you can make images look flawless, but the story is all affected by emotions. And I don't know if you're familiar, but I guess you are. Top theory and the meaning of that. So that's very interesting if you are working on an international campaign, that you have to look at how color works, how the schemes apply to a whole set of images. For example, this month, that was a campaign for a recently released fashion label, and a friend of mine was the owner. He asked me to create a book that goes through all those images, and since everyone did that way. So that's a very fascinating area. And I want to give you 3 insights with before and after, if you're interested. So this is what this is Jackson looked before, after my retouching. It was really like this, and this is already a great shot. But there are certain things that Olaf already asked me to, and which is style. So the face will be a little bit, so there's no light fall up to what the tune is very bright and vivid, and the colors are alive, and you won't feel like you can touch it. This one has been created for a charity campaign, and my thought was to create certain drama look to these images. It was a set of 30 images, I think 30 different celebrities who have been make-up. Is that the word? Make-up? Make-up, sorry. Made up to feel like 30 years older, so we had makeup artists who turned them like 30 years older, which is really fascinating. And I activated that from that, so coloring and lighting and to present the whole scene. That goes through all those 30 images. For this one, like traditional beauty work, it's about the details, it's about keeping the pores, it's about keeping natural. And as you see, there's certain things you need to do, and certain things you can do. This one, like celebrity portraits, especially portraits are always on time. It's a struggle, but you have to go through a certain process. It's about keeping very natural, since there are like a ton of images of these. Or you have an insight into this color grade. The image was shot like that in early morning in the hills, and the client wanted to be more sunny and more vivid. And the prosecutor does. And there's these things that we do. I'm collaborating with Work. We are working for now, and we always, when the season starts, we have about 1 week to get all the images, which is kind of short, so that the photograph counts and the team goes there. And this was what we before, and it's completely composite. Right? We took this scene, and then we shoot every player separately, and in different poses we do intervals. But yes, if you want to have an image like that, and this had to be done about 1 day, I guess, you have to be flexible, and you have to collaborate with professionals. So in this case, I take 3D artists into my team and create the whole scene roughly 3D to be able to set the proportion for us. So everybody needs both they have the original and someone is way taller than compared to another one. So we have this scene that in and so we have all lighting on the players, and they are like located in 3 rows. And if you have a look from above, they are in half circles. That so that this doesn't look distorted or anything. Yeah, then we rendered all shadows and it called all the renderings. And that's a very interesting process to me to hear from professional work. Many professionals in one team, but I think team makes a success. And it's always a team that is leading to success. And I can only suggest that if you work on your own, projects like, or say bigger projects, always take professionals in help you because it's working way better for us. And I know what I do. And let's talk about marketing. That's always a very special topic. It's all skill oriented. You can do the greatest work, but if no one sees it, that can be just your hobby. And we all make money in what we do, or make things. And so how to present stuff? There's one simple rule. You do some great shit, and you don't let others judge you. This is good what you do, it's just good, go for it. And when I started retouching, my retouching sucked very much. And I was like, okay, but there has to be a way to find others. And so I was approaching my presenter or looking. And it's so important not to be afraid to stop. And so you have to get your work seen, and you have to create your portfolio. And your portfolio will grow, and you will take things out. You look back at what I did many years ago, let's say 2 years ago. I worked completely on those images maybe, but the process always changes and evolves. And the third step is the most important one. You have to leave your comfort zone. You have to go and I know I'm here to get the portfolios review, get some opinion, and you do that in stages, and you do that. So, question: who is on social media? Yes, almost everybody. So, if you are using social media, like when did you use your social media today? This morning? Yes. And did you use an hour ago? Yes. And did you use while I was? All right. And so you're all there, and you can make some benefit, but you have to consider that. And you have to consider the power of storytelling. And so you can either send the images you can also ask for feedback. You can set up a group of like-minded persons. You can have a mastermind group. You can have so many options. You don't have to be completely popular. You can be. You have to engage with you. You have to fill and take it. I think it's circle. And as much as don't give as much as the depth. Sorry, my things are fading, but you know what I mean. So if you are presenting your stuff, you try to have the same skill level. Who of those which you guys get? I think it's always the one that is nice and now people are doing great work, but they're not good either, and they're good to have in your team. You gotta pay attention to your mother. So you have to be that guy. How do that? If you share knowledge, you could share your knowledge. You can give feedback to others. You can make free tutorials. You can give free workshops, or you can have workshops and show people your expertise in the field. And there's at least that's one benefit from you sharing work. Great. Maybe this one could pass it on, and you never know who hears from you. So you have to connect with other creative minds, and you can go to events like that. You can have seminars, or you can do online hangouts. I know many researchers or other creators that meet in online groups and discuss about trends and stuff like that. I have a way to right now connecting with a lot of people internationally. So I've got an Australian friend that I'm always connecting with and exchanging thoughts and researching. And there's others from the United States, from Finland, and there's so many people that are like-minded. You can have a great conversation that you can grow from. So you have to share your story, and you can really show some Facebook is common, but not just show what you want, show a little of your personality. Of course, you don't have to share everything. I think my instance was show with you to give an insight to your workflow, or just maybe you can live stream an episode of your researching work, or you're just doing your work. What we like to do is create making of or behind the scenes when there are productions. And therefore, I'd like to give one example of the soundboard. So this is a video that we created after the actual campaign for the was created, and the video. So was never great to you. Just ask a friend about deal. And he rated his product for us in about a day. And he always likes to, there's always someone in your network to ask to do in the situation. So it was shared by social media ago, it was shared by home, and it was shared by friends and friends. And you see that it does anything. And there's so much value in this. You can easily be seen by so many people. How is this? Show people what you know process. And I have one more thing. And so I've been coming up with a new topic I would like to present to you. And I want to do a little live experiment. I'll ask you to put your mobile phones out or your smartphone. Do that. Thank you. And would you open up your podcast? Do you have a podcast? No, you can just involve the game of creativity, or you can go to creativity.be and I need one. And I kindly ask you to subscribe to this podcast. Because this is a podcast that I created in a couple of months ago and launched today. And of course, I was not inside. And I think I still have enough time to listen to podcasts, which I did while I worked. I started to create my own. I'm working with video in creative history now. And I met so many talented, successful, and people that I figure and tell their story. And then their stories is not the persons behind the fight, of favorites and how to learn from them. Of stories, not of real talk. I've been doing interviews and examples with him. And give you an episode this week. And it's going to be a fascinating story of the journey that he had from the United States and coming here. And I would so love to have you listen and listen to that. That would be so much. I think the goal is to have many that come together in this place that always inspire and motivate each other, because there are many of us that work with SSL or in more teams, and always, yes, you might get to a point where you don't know by the way, and you share or you want to inspire by other people. And the first interview I was with Fabian, the CEO of Quick, and it released today. We had a nice conversation in at Work, and I invited him to the class that have met with me, and a really interesting conversation about the story of life. So this is a thing that is I've been on my heart for a long time. I already have a lot of feedback and feedback. Please be free to keep on. Thank you so much for listening to me. And now, as the next there, you can find me on my website, my Facebook site, Instagram, behind, and I'd love to have you in the detail. Thank you very much. So, before we go, this is a chance where we will take questions from the audience, from Instagram, and from those who are curious. Natural is you have to have information reaction that everything has to be perfect and no thank you very much. No imperfection and ambiguity. Everything has to be super and all unnatural. And natural to me means simplicity, like every hair retail. If it's commercial for hair products or for hair, then you got better precise and clean. But you still in the time everything was published and currently is going back to and also we talk about metal or digital authorities. We always have to remind that there are so many other images of things in the internet, and if you remove a certain person or you remove something or age wrinkles, you have to be very sensitive to that, because otherwise you will have to wait hard. Clean natural means that it doesn't look retouched or it doesn't look fake. That has been that's everything. Okay. Who else has a question? Okay, come back over here.
Hi, I'm Daochi. I'm a developer. So I guess from 0 to 1 is always hard. So what would you recommend to people? Try to create their shit and then try to share it, to the public.
So you mean
yeah, what do you do?
That's one thing is that you start, because every time you start, you have to start doing it. Because you can't really get all the money, you have to get it all the time. And that's what I started doing. I watched every story I have in mind, every story. And I thought I know it all until I started working, and I realized I knew this in theory, but you have to be hours to get this done, and you have to start practicing. And you have to be a good point, and they have to keep leader, and he goes up. How can you do that the whole day? And he said, if you know, you're going to be like that. And 4 hours, like if you sit in your car, you can 3 meters. You just drive the first 2, you can see the next 3. And I think it's very important that you just get going and let others pull you up. Just do it. And you don't make it. I follow up. So,
let's say you already have a preparation right there, and then how do you overcome fear of sharing it to the public? Is that something?
Yeah, I think first step is in here. And the important thing, if you ask someone that is not your field, not your art, what you your neighbor, for example, you know, maybe they're everything in their head, and they don't know if you're other creators. I think nobody will come to them. That's something that I think I learned. You should know that it's never personal on you. Because the other, it's mostly what you should have. Because you success and you tell them, or you can turn them around and say, okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts, but on it too. You should ask them, what don't you know? And you can see if it's what you read, and then from there you learn. Let's see, does anybody have a question from the center or next? Then we'll get people from Instagram and social media.
Hi, I'm Ahmed. It's nice to meet you. I'm curious which program you use for the course.
I'm guessing I start with raw conversion. That's it. And so my events of choice are one for raw processing. Good choice. That might make it renders, especially in content that can raw too, but that's also quite use. That would be something that compares to. So, or can use Affinity, for example. It's a little easier. For me, and since I work a lot of commercial agencies and the other programmers, I can only work Photoshop since, although I don't use much of it. I don't use any so I don't think it's pretty much something, but the thing is, I realized that you can do everything with these boards, and I think it's 5 or CSS. And Photoshop, photo editing, follows one way. You have to work with it, and you can only like having a logic in your files. So to make sure you can understand. You have base layer and the static work, and then you work on rules like color, light, and everything like doesn't burning, and that work. That's this way, pixels below, luminosity, and then like you have to control it and work on index instead of on the base layer. You all have to go and you adjust the color beforehand. If you want if you just start with color gradient and then the draft of the image design, and then if you want these modules or the practice, it would be like having the other way around, where you remove the section and cover it, right? And so this is what I do in the public.
I feel like consistency inside is one of the most important things, especially in social media stuff. And I wonder how you develop your own site, especially with color palettes and yeah, the computer because
well, two things. I think I already said what it is. So if you work on technical like cleaning up the images and working with lighting, that's one thing that's pretty technical and that's something that you can learn right with. Light after, that's in the process, but the techniques are first. When you're interesting is when you start working on color and work on it changes the grids. That's the thing that you do. You have to see the nuances in skin background. And you would put some art, as my president always said, because I already asked people that have done that, and I thought there was like a program to very fast and efficient, but it is not. You have to put it right, and then you should look at the art. Don't look at Facebook timeline. That's one crap. All you just allow. Of course, it's nice to see some packages, and you learn from that. So if you imagine how much time you spend on social media, probably if you would go and take a look at Beehive, for example, that's mostly realities, and you have to, and then you can learn that mostly it's like color only that work with commentary class. So what I have to do is split the image into 3 areas like freedom and shadow tones, and by doing that, I have 3 folders where I can easily